And don't be willing to risk your production for the potential you see in someone else. It's good, bro.
Not much.
It's good.
Like
That's
staying
good.
busy. I want to know how I'm building a business. I've been doing insurance for like 4 years, on the Medicare side of things,
Mhm.
and now I've got like a team of 2 agents right now, but I'm bringing on like 12 agents in the next 2 months. I got a couple teams with like 7 agents each, and they all mainly life people, but they want to get like into Medicare and into that. So, really
Okay.
just want some advice on how you manage it all, how much time you spend on people, and then like for personal production, because I can kind of see already like it takes a lot out of your day, personal production wise. So,
Yeah.
but
Are you only selling Medicare too?
I sell everything.
You do?
My main focus is Medicare. I do a lot of ACA, and then I sell annuities, life, whatever gets referred to me, I write it. So,
Got it. Cool. Do you sell certain days or times or every day? Like, what's your schedule like?
my schedule is basically every day. I mean, I'll have maybe 2, 3 appointments a day that are either T65, ACA, or something else that might have got referred to me. And then we do like Medicare seminars for new business, like attracting people turning 65, different things like that. So,
You do like webinars?
no, I do them in person, like
You do
seminars.
like events? No shit. Like at
Yeah,
a
like look,
dinner
like
type thing?
yeah, whole
No
thing,
shit.
presentation, whole deal, like in front of groups of 30 people. Do 3 month, get them for the next like year out, T65. So,
No shit. How often you do those?
once a week, so 4 times a month.
Just by yourself?
Yep. hmm Yep,
Nice.
that's
What do you
been
drop mail for it, or how do you get them?
yeah, mainly mail drops, direct mail drops, and then having a call set up for when they call in and RSVP and all that stuff.
Oh
So
shit. That's
yeah,
cool.
we find the events, I pull the numbers for the people turning, and then I just request the mail drop. So yeah,
Nice.
but
How
that's
much mail you have to do to fill one?
well, I mean, I'm used to get 1 to 1.5% return, just like
So,
anything else in direct mail.
yeah.
So I try to keep it like at 30 people per event, so it can go upwards of 10,000 pieces normally.
Oh shit.
So yeah, but I've been doing those for I don't know 2.5 years now.
Have you?
Yeah, started in the business LIS direct mail.
Yeah.
So did like 2 years of that. I was pretty
You're
good at that.
sending 10 10,000 a month? So that'd be 3,300. Yeah. So about
Yep,
10,000 a month. Yeah.
yep. It
Cool.
ranges. I
What's a
mean,
drop cost now? Last time I looked at it, it was like 600 bucks or something, 600 bucks.
yeah, per thousand.
1,000. Yeah.
Yep.
Still about that.
It's yeah, it's still about that, depending upon what kind of discounts you get, because you get vendor like I've consistently done it with the same vendor. So
So you're
it
getting
normally is
bulk.
about 550 per thousand pieces for me.
Okay.
So
So you spend 5 G's a month, 5, 6 G's a month to fill.
yeah.
Cool. How many? I don't know the Medicare space like commission and ACA well. What do you have to sell to break even on that? Or do you even look
Well,
to break even off the rip? Are you worried about future more?
I'll break even most of the time. 600, like a T65, brand new to Medicare. If you're writing like a MAPD,
Mhm.
basically Medicare Advantage instead of a supplement, you're gonna get $661. But
Oh, so
then
it's just like a final expense app.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
if you're rewriting MAPDs, they're prorated number one off the months of the year, but it starts out right now at 306. So anything you sold like January 1st, 306 for the whole year. So
Cool. How
then it
many
gets
would you write out of 30?
prorated down through the months.
If you put 30 in a thing, how many do you write? 30 in a room.
Um,
How many apps would you pick up?
in a room, I'll probably write, I mean, 95% of them. I mean,
No
most,
shit.
I mean,
No.
yeah, normally, because we have a follow-up system that we do, put them in our
Cool.
CRM.
Hell yeah.
I got assistant. We have a follow-up system so that we try not to lose as much of that as possible.
Yeah.
But I mean, you'll write most
You're
of the
making good
people.
money with it.
Yeah, most of the people you get.
Yeah.
And then obviously Medicare is a renewal business too. So you're getting
Yeah.
a 306 every single year, keep the client. So
Yep. And the renewal
but
parts.
that's what I do. That's what we like. That's what we're doing. We're expanding that. You can get,
Yeah.
overrides with Medicare teams on what they write. There's different things like that. So that's what I'm trying to expand right now. Got guys doing what I did when I first started, dropping LIS mailers right now, going door to door, setting phone appointments, and doing low income Medicare clients, basically like your final expense
Yeah.
policies.
Yeah.
So
Makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah. I mean, so the general concept is one, You have to really understand like you have to eat first. The mistake I see a lot of people make when they're building is they stop doing what they do to make money and they start trying to help other people make money. And there's no better way to get an agent to procrastinate and put off doing work than watching you put off work to help them.
Gotcha.
Does that
I
make
mean,
sense?
it makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah.
So you're setting the example from the rip, So meaning you don't want to let them, because if you hire 10 people and you let them dictate when y'all talk, you'll never fucking work.
Right.
So you need to like really control it. And the more you can have group setting things, the easier it is to control, or you do your one-on-ones at times where you're not selling and you
Yeah.
answer questions at times where you're not selling or they shouldn't be on a train. Like one of the things always drove me crazy. We'd have a weekly training call and people would fucking call me from a house or text me with whatever it is. And I'm like,
Yeah.
during the call, I'm like, I'm on the training call you're supposed to be on right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
like, so you gotta, and that just was because I didn't show the value of that good enough that they thought it was okay to one, not only skip, but two, bug me during it.
Right. Yeah.
Because at one stage I would be like, oh shit, hold on. Hey, hello. And
Mhm.
I'd miss the training. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so for me, I had to put in things that were urgent, not only for myself, but for agents. And I had to make sure that they understood the urgency of those things. And that for me, the training prioritized even sitting with a client.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, dude, it's an hour. It's an hour once a week. Like you cannot schedule that 1 hour and be okay.
Yeah.
And if you do schedule that 1 hour, you're going to miss something that's going to cost you an app or two a week for the rest of time. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Oh no, it makes
I,
sense. I mean,
I
they
had
have
to,
extra
I had
hours
to
in
learn.
the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I had to learn how to set the right expectations for that. And then I'll never forget, dude, the first time that I learned this lesson, I had a few agents come in to my office. It was a dial day and teaching them how to dial. I was fucking role playing with them and just doing dumb stuff, teaching them how to download leads and what to do. I mean, I was just dumb stuff. I was letting them dictate what they felt they needed at the time for information.
Right.
And then the next day I call my mentor, Mike, and I'm like, bro, I got like no appointments, dude. I missed 2 sales. Like, this is setting up to be a really shitty week. He goes, that's because you spent all day yesterday being Mr. Teacher instead of actually working. You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
like, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, dude, it'd have been really good if I taught them to protect your dial time by protecting mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And from that day forward, if anytime someone wanted to do anything with dial day, you could watch me dial, but there's no talking. The only
Right.
time we could talk is because I was good enough, I was done it enough that while it was ringing, I could engage too. Like I could multitask.
Yeah.
But dude, you don't get a really good conversation with me when I'm in the middle of dialing. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't allowed.
Right.
So, and then the second stage was you dial, and I can listen to you dial while I'm dialing.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. And then it was like I just wanted to make sure people were doing the activity because the activity trumped everything. And I just never believed that I'm that amazing that I'm gonna whatever words I say are gonna outdo long term the activity piece of it. You know what I mean? So for me, I had to one. So as you said, it seems like you're prepared to have it interfere with your work, your money making time.
Right. Yeah.
You throw that shit out the window today.
Just get it scheduled on certain days.
100%. Yes, you
Yeah.
should schedule everything, and you need to let them know that when they come on. Like, yo, you're not going to mess with my money. Does that make sense? Like, I'm here to help you,
Right.
but helping you is showing you how disciplined you need to be in this business. And
Yeah.
I don't care if it's you or my mom or my whatever, maybe you have accept, you know what I mean? Like one of my kids calls me, dude, I'm picking up.
Right.
But my wife wouldn't call me when I was down. She knew better. She just wasn't
Yeah.
going to. You know what I'm saying? My family, but like, can you help us? Do we need help getting something from the store? Can we use your truck? My family would never call me for some shit like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Um, and now not everybody chooses to be that way, but to build something big, you kind of have to have that. Because if not, someone's always going to interfere with your schedule.
Yeah. Don't let it interfere with your growth.
Yeah, you can't, dude. So you're going to mess it up a bunch. So buckle up. You will F it up. Which is part of the process, but just acknowledge it and then and don't be willing to risk your production for the potential you see in someone else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I see that. Yeah, I get that a lot. Yeah.
And you're good enough, obviously, at what you do to schedule things. You know what I mean? So if you're only doing 2 or 3 a day, whatever, book your 2 or 3 a day from 8 to 12. It'd be a lot better than having one at 8, one at 2, and one at 6.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Would you get that? But
No,
again,
I
even if you
get
do,
that.
maybe you have interviews in between. You know what I mean? Maybe you have one-on-one time in between. Sure. And then you're really going to have to come up with like almost like an agenda of what they need to be doing and when they need to be doing it. So
Hmm.
you need to be really detailed and go, all right, here's you want to do X. Everybody wants something different. So you got to figure out who they are, what they want to be, what their schedule is going to be, what lead budget they have. You're going to have to figure out that shit individually. Right. And then you kind of lump them into the same schedule best you can. Meaning for me, I'd always be like, all right, we start dialing on Mondays. Is there any reason you can't be on the phones Monday morning at 7:30?
Right.
They
Starting to
say yes
dial.
or no. Now, if they say no, well, no, I can. I got this. All right, what time can you get on? And is that every week at 7:30? Because when I hired you, you said you were good Mondays.
Right.
Sounds like, but if you can't, whatever. My point is, I'm going to get them to commit to a time and then I'm going to hold them accountable. And then I'm going to give them things to do and have them report to me. And like the simple example I use all the time is, all right, if you can be dialing at 7:30, any reason you can't dial straight till noon. Like you have
Mhm.
nothing on your calendar that is going to interfere you from being on the phone till noon. And again, use the concept, tweak the words however you need to.
Oh no, I got that. Yeah, I got that.
Yeah. So they'd be like,
I know,
no.
I
All
know
right.
you're a life guy.
So from 7:30 to noon, you'll be on the phone. You can probably make, I don't know, if you're going really slow, 40 phone calls an hour. I aim for 60. If it's really fast, it's 80.
Right.
So at noon, you should have a couple hundred phone calls. Now, what I need you to do to make this work is I need you to go get me like 30 or 40 objections. And then at noon, we're going to talk for 20 minutes. I'll tweak a few things and then you get back on the phones. Is that fair? They'll
Yeah.
all say yes. And I go, all right, now, if you come to me at noon and you have 47 phone calls and only talk to 3 people, we're not talking. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Does it make
Not no
sense?
activity.
Yeah, and I set whatever expectations you want to set, you set. Those were mine. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And again, I adjust accordingly. Someone has a full-time job and or a single mom and they're whatever. The schedule is different, but the structure and the concept's the same.
Yeah, I get that.
You
Yeah.
know. And then so now it's me seeing if they'll do the things they say they'll do.
Right.
So you're gonna have to come up with those things. You know what I mean? What your expectations are. So you kind of have to like figure out who they are and what they're trying to achieve, and then you have to kind of give a roadmap, dude. Does
Hmm.
that make sense? So
It
and the
does.
more detailed you are in the roadmap, the easier it is.
Yeah.
Quick break in the video. This is John Wetmore. Want to invite you to join my new school community. You will get access to tons of free sales training. There's a community of other insurance agents looking to win. We have hundreds of them already in there, where we're giving out answers to questions people have, coaching, guidance, tips on not only selling but building, team stuff, leadership tips. And I'm personally in there responding to messages, putting out challenges, talking about our wins, our losses, our struggles, and sharing things that'll help you win as well. To join now, go to johnwetmore.com/school, which is SKOOL. The link is also below.
It makes me, I mean, that's it puts in my head like we could do like weekly Zoom calls because a lot of these guys are not local for the
Yep.
most part. So
Right.
they're going to be
So then
like,
they should be on Zoom live with you. Like maybe you're like, do you dial at all? Or are you all seminars?
I don't dial. No, I started out in the business dialing,
Yeah,
so I know
for
the
sure.
process of everything.
Yeah.
Most of those guys are all broke, so like they're all starting out
You're gonna
like
be
that.
on the phone.
Yeah, because a seminar game is like
Yeah,
you're not
it's
gonna get
totally
that
different.
money it's a
What are
pipeline.
you doing when they would normally be dialing?
When they're dialing,
Yeah.
so they're not in office with
No, I
me.
get it. Yep.
Okay, so
I understand.
it's all separate.
The whole team is that way,
Um,
mostly.
yeah, yeah. My office is located in like where I live. I'm actually opening it up in like 2 weeks from now. It'll be done with construction, and so we're going to be doing a lot of local market branding and everything. So I'm just trying to get these guys like set up with like the proper training, like basically like a roadmap like that,
Yeah.
like designing a roadmap to like, hey, because they don't know, they don't have any structure. So
correct.
that's really
That's what I'm
good
saying.
for
You got to
me because
provide
like
that.
Monday, you should call all day and book the rest of your week out, you know. Mondays, call all day. You should have so many appointments. You should be able to go run those
Yeah.
appointments.
What I would
That's
do then is I'd put them in a group Zoom and do that.
okay. Yeah.
Hell yeah. And then the question is, who's going to be helping them while they're dialing? Are you going to be available?
Yeah. So most of the times I will be more available on things like
And
that.
even if you pick times, it's like, hey, here's when you dial
Mm-hmm.
7 to whatever. Do you again? You make it up, and you go from 8 to 8:30 with you. You're going to be unmuted, and I'm going to coach you
Yeah.
with this one from 9 to 9:30, and this one 10, and you just pick your times
Okay.
and be
Gotcha.
like, the only way I'm coaching you is if you get in at this time to this time and dial on your own.
Yeah.
If you don't dial on your own from this time to this time, you get no one-on-one coaching.
Right.
Does that make
Right.
sense? If you aren't in there in the group, and I'd set up whatever it is you want. You know what I mean? For
Yeah.
me, I make them do things before I'm gonna do more things.
Yeah, no, I like that because it gives me a good idea of like I could do one-on-one Zooms, I could do group Zooms, but
Yeah.
just Monday is in my world, Monday is like customer service day. I
Yep.
mean, you know, we get flooded with help. We're all help. I'm a help agent, so I get hit with
Yeah.
everything.
Flooded with shit. But you could be
Uh,
doing that while listening to them on Zoom. You know what I mean?
that's
Like
what I'm
you
saying.
can multitask.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'd
That
make
so
sure I
Monday
have
would be
people
a
on the
great day.
screen. You're seeing them, they're doing their thing. And then you have set times where you get in, you coach, and you can move them into breakout rooms. You can coach live. There's all kinds of different ways to do it.
Okay, yeah.
You're just gonna have to
Yeah, I need to learn
navigate.
that asset, but that's a great idea. Like I really
Yeah.
like that because that day's normally a slower day of me having to just get caught up with stuff and then figure out my
Yeah.
week schedule as
Yeah.
well. So I
And
have
that's it.
plenty of
And then
time.
whenever you have your trainings, you have your trainings. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I'm big on putting out leaderboards. I think it stems competition, and I put, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I was big into that. So I just, you're gonna have to try to create some type of community feeling for them. Because as
Hmm.
you know, dude, this business can be lonely as shit.
Well, I'm with Impact, so there's a with Impact with Cody's Debt, Brian Askins, and all
Yeah.
them. So, but we have Impact has leaderboards, the
Yeah.
whole community, Slack channels, and
Yeah.
like all the agents with any team are in all those things. So
Correct.
community is almost like
Yeah, it's
natural.
part of it. What I'm saying
So,
is people, when they come into if they come into 1,000 people,
mhm,
be shy as shit, dude.
right,
You're
yeah,
gonna have to be like, yo, here's how you do this. Here's how you report.
oh yeah,
Now, whatever it is you want, you know what I mean? Because you're gonna have to, there is ongoing coaching required, obviously. You
hmm,
know what I mean? So you're just gonna have to, if they need to be in a big group on their own and do it, all good. You're just gonna have to set those expectations so they're not confused.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
definitely,
if we had, what I did is I had one where I like video. I'm not like I don't love like Slack and shit because I wanted to interact with people. So I did a video one, and I would have them after each appointment video, like, hey, I sat with Mary and this is what happened, and she said this, and I said, and like they'd have to give me a minute, just because I didn't want a 9-minute video. I'm like 1 minute max.
right,
And then that let me read their body language. I could see if they were ready to jump off a ledge. I could see if they were excited. You know what I mean? I could read it, and then I could coach them, and then everyone else in the group could see it. You know what I mean? And I had to create this level of comfort where people were willing to be vulnerable and share stuff.
yeah,
That's
that makes
that's, that's
sense.
hard to do it's
That is,
hard for agents, man.
yeah, that's difficult for
So
multiple
you're just
reasons.
gonna have to normalize that and make it seem like that's the path to success for you. And if you're not willing to do this, this might not be for you.
Right,
You know,
yeah,
and the more I did those things, the more the right people stood out, and I stopped having to chase the ones that were gonna quit anyway.
hmm,
And I just let people know that's what I was doing. Like everything I do with you is a test. I am testing you the entire time. And if
right,
you don't do the things that you agree you'll do, I'm out.
yeah,
And that kept me like my mental like capacity really open, because it's exhausting when people don't listen, and we're dumb enough to keep saying it over and over again like they're suddenly going to wake up and listen today.
right,
So I decided to just do it in a way where the writing was on the wall, and I let them know. You know what I mean? If you say you're going to do X and you don't do it, after a couple times, I promise you, I'm going to quit you before you quit me.
yeah,
And I don't mind if you don't listen. It doesn't bother me. Just you can never complain to me.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
you
if
can,
you want
yeah,
to be over there on your own and not listen and do your own thing, and you're not doing anything, unethical, and you're not hurting clients and you're not complaining, I don't give a shit.
That's fine. Yeah. Keep your
Yeah.
license. Yeah. But
So I
don't.
just I got really good at setting those expectations up front. Think sales. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
When you're doing your seminars, you set a lot of expectations. Here's who I am. Here's how this is going to go, and here's how the steps. Now I'm going to set up an appointment. Like you explain, you ain't closing 95%. You ain't really good at setting expectations.
Right.
So
Right.
take that same concept and apply it here.
Yeah.
You know,
Just instead of clientele agents.
correct? Yeah, because it's human psychology, dude. It's not that deep.
Yeah.
It's like they've done that. Think school. You know what I mean? Imagine if they didn't tell us exactly what time we had to be in math class and the bell rang and it was recess and then it was lunch at this. Like, imagine if they didn't do that.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, just, kids, just whatever you want to go to math, go to math.
That makes sense. Yeah. Creatures
It
that
is
have
that.
schedule.
So, and then, from there, man, it's no different than selling, like, especially as you're telling your new agents, it's a lot of activity. You're gonna make mistakes along the way, learn from them best you can. A lot of people are gonna disappoint you if you have crazy high expectations. So try to control that on your end,
Yeah.
and then from there, man, if you're really looking to get really big, you're gonna eventually, this isn't necessarily gonna happen quick, but long term, you're gonna have to eventually look for people who have some type of leadership qualities and stand out from the crowd, and you give them a little bit more attention. And
Yeah.
then from there, of all the ones that stand out a little bit more, there's going to be every once in a blue moon, there's going to be one that's going to be like, shit, I kind of want to do what you're doing.
Right.
And that's very few. I
Who,
mean,
yeah,
I don't
want to
have a
be a
ton of
builder.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, a real one. You'll get some that will be like, I want to build, and they'll build a little bit. There's only going to be a couple that are going to go like, really
Right.
do, because it's a lot
Yeah.
of work and it's a lot of disappointment and there's a lot of stuff, dude. You know?
I know I'm picking that part up really quick. I mean, this has been like it's been a cycle of like 4 months of like really just like pivoting is what I would say. Just
Yeah.
pivoting
Yeah. And
from
that don't ever stop, to be clear.
yeah, just
As far
pivoting
in
from
you, I mean, you've seen me
producer.
speak enough times at enough event, bro. I have problems every day, dude.
Yeah. Pivoting from production to like I
Yeah.
want to grow. So there's
Yeah.
one way to grow. So we got to do it.
Yeah.
Just got to do it. Just gotta go walk out there and do it. So
No
but
doubt.
yeah, I appreciate that. I my biggest thing is just I've picked up two, three really good agents, but now like and they're producing, and now like all their friends and family want to do it too.
That's
And
good.
I'm like, number one, that don't talk like I'll talk to them and after
Yeah.
their license, because I feel like half of the people fall off when you tell them that they got to go get a license, like they
Yeah.
don't even. So I
Yeah,
was
you
like,
should control it at the beginning.
yeah, I was like, once they get their license, then they can we'll have a serious conversation about it. And like, I put that expectation, like, I'm not going to talk to everybody that you talk to just because they sound interested in it, because the
You know what
Medicare
I
is
did?
not
You know what it was a
my
really good thing
life.
that I did in that situation, dude, is I used to have like 2 weekly calls that I would have everyone get everyone on, and I do like 30 minutes, dude. Kind of
Yeah.
like overview, here's how to get started, here's what I expect, here's who I am, here's how this goes. And sometimes I'd open up for a really quick Q&A.
Okay.
You know, Q&As can be a little bit dangerous if you don't know how to control them really well.
Right.
But I did
Yeah.
that like twice a week. And as I started getting more people send potential new recruits, because the thing I didn't want to do, I see your point, but I also didn't want someone else providing the messaging because they weren't going to set the expectations the way I was.
Right. Yeah.
And I could get my team to edify me, and they're going to look at me a lot differently than they're going to look at their cousin who they think is a dipshit.
Right.
Does it make
Yeah.
sense? So it's
That
like
does make
the
sense. Yeah.
double-edged sword. So I did it in groups instead
Okay.
of one-on-ones. And then as you get to know some people, dude, the right people, you get a couple guys call me like, hey, can you talk to so and so? I'm like 100% because I know they know how to do it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at the stage you're at, I would
I'm
consider,
not at that. Yeah, I don't
yeah,
know who that person is yet.
correct.
Got two
Yeah,
guys doing a
you
ton
ain't
of
there
it.
yet.
I'm like, one of you like this too
Yeah,
good to be
I would
true,
do
you
some kind
know?
of weekly thing. You know what I mean? Be like,
So,
hey, anyone you want to do, I'll call Monday nights at 7.
okay.
Anybody interested, get them on here and I'll go through everything. And you just do a little rundown.
Okay. Yeah.
Super helpful.
I
And
mean,
it'll
that's
help you learn to speak. It'll teach you how to deal with different personality types. You'll learn a lot from it, dude. I mean,
okay.
I didn't
That's actually
expect
really
that,
good.
but I got a hell of an education from doing that.
No, I didn't I never thought of
Yeah.
doing that, but that's a fantastic idea. So, but
So,
I
yeah,
mean,
dude.
it's kind of it's I feel like an idiot though too, because Impact does a what's called Meet the Partners every week. It's
Mhm.
literally just that. It's like the agency
Yeah.
owners bringing on new people to meet the owners of
Yeah.
Impact. But that, I mean, we should just do what you're just doing.
Yeah, it's a step in
smaller scale.
between. It's not so
Yeah.
overwhelming. It's the guy that's going to be mentoring them. You know what I mean? It's a little different. And then you can talk about the importance of meeting the partners if you know what I mean, if and when that part's needed. I don't know
Yeah,
what
that makes
that would
a
be
lot of
something
sense
for
to
you
me.
to edify. And the more you edify other people, the more it validates that they're talking to the right person.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like have you ever read Five Levels of Leadership?
I have not. Who's that
You know
by?
John Maxwell?
Yeah, I know John Maxwell.
Yep,
Yeah.
read it. Do it change your world. Yeah,
Five Levels of Leadership.
it is the best book I've ever read for the process you're about to go through. It just changed. It gave me it helped me understand how people perceive me
Yeah,
because everyone's different.
right.
Does it make sense? Like me and you were on the call for a reason. Like there's a reason you were like, hey, I'm into a call.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I could talk to someone like run into Kroger and they don't give two shits who I am.
Right.
Not that I think but relative to, you know what I mean? Like there's this way people view you based on what you've either done for them or done for the industry or done for their personal self. You know what I mean? And that book explains the concept. So 99% of the planet, dude, I could be the janitor.
Right.
So certain people I'm looked at as a different level. And this book explains that. It helps you understand how to identify how you're viewed and shows you how to, in some ways, not in a negative, like a weird way, but in ways how to manipulate it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's a lot. There's a lot to that. I mean, I've
Yeah.
done multiple personality kind of studies
Yep.
because I feel like you do. I mean, in a client, we have a lot of client interaction with the same clients. So you're going to get a lot of different personality types. You know,
Yeah.
I know with life sales, you're really about one and done unless someone passes away for the most part, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
But we do a lot. I mean, we're going to be following up every year throughout the year, customer service. You know, I've got an admin, you know,
Yep.
so
It's a different game.
there's a lot of that. So just pivot it to people, agents. I would love
Yeah.
to. I'll definitely get that book and I'll read
Yeah.
it for sure. But yeah, I appreciate that.
You
But
go,
no,
dude.
the scheduling, like I don't know, just scheduling times to be active. I should like instill that. That's for sure. And
Yep.
then the scheduling the weekly calls, that's really big too. So I appreciate that too. It's two
Yeah,
things
dude.
I never thought of doing. But yeah,
I love it. Well,
no,
if I
I
know,
appreciate your time.
otherwise just keep me posted. I'd love to hear how you're doing.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I've been following your stuff just a little bit before you go.
Yeah.
But when I first started, so I've been doing this for 4 years. So when I first started, you had just met Cody at that
Yeah.
point. I've known Cody my whole life, like Cody
No
and
way.
Brian,
Cool.
and like I've gone to church with them and like
Yeah.
for a very long time. I watched Cody play basketball in high school.
Oh
So
shit. Cool.
so I know I basically got into the business off of Ty James,
Yep.
who's
Yep.
a really
I
good
met
friend
him.
of mine.
Yep.
And but I was watching Cody's stuff right before I started, and you'd like just done a couple of your podcasts with him. So I was
Cool.
like, that really helped me because like the activity and you scheduling your days out. Well, when I first started, I was like direct mail door, and I door knocked everything.
Yeah.
Like I sucked on the phones, so I was
Yeah.
like, I'm just gonna go
Not
door to
banging
door.
doors.
They can't say no to me.
That's
And
cool.
I mean, I closed a lot of business just because I kept driving out to the place without calling somebody. They
Yeah.
never had a chance to tell me no. That's how
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
nobody
It
else
works.
really wanted to do that. It's a lot of gas. I traveled all throughout the state, but I did that for like 2.5 years and really
Yeah.
pivoted in the last year and a half to like more seminars because I have the funding and the backing and stuff. You know, I'm like in the 300,000 renewal. So now
Easy.
I'm building an office, building a team out. I'm
Oh
just
yeah.
growing. So, but that I just want to say thank you for that one podcast because it like really helped me get like in the very beginning. I didn't even know how to schedule a day out in insurance. So,
I
because
love
I
it,
don't
dude.
know if you remember that podcast, but it was pretty influential for me. So,
I love it. I love hearing it, dude. We're gonna be doing a lot more stuff. So share it. I'd love if you share it out because I enjoy combos like this where it's like, oh, something actually helped.
yeah,
So we got a
yeah.
lot more stuff coming out. So
Sweet, it'll be awesome. So, but I just want to say appreciate it. So 2 years
my
ago,
dude, happy to help. Keep me
all right,
posted
man.
on like a month how
Yep.
it's going.